Hello my astrology friends, this is Lada from Astrolada.com and these are your September 2023 video horoscopes. And September we have 3 planets changing directions. What does it mean? Your life will change direction. 3 planets, Venus is turning direct, Jupiter is turning retrograde, Mercury is turning direct, which those 3 planets rule 6 out of the 12 houses, which means 6 areas of everyone's life will shift, will change. With 2 planets turning direct for the better, with 1 retrograde, maybe it will just change, take a different direction. Doesn't have to be negative, just an alternative direction. But 6 areas of your life will be shifting, big changes. I'm very excited. Before I start, I just want to let you know that I've compiled for you around more than 600 transits of transiting planets to natal. It's a written ebook. It's interactive. You can click on the transit you're interested in and it will take you to the text, very extensive text, what each transit means. Or you can watch your transits on my personal transit calendar, which is for free for everyone for the next 4 or 5 days always. But this book is a work of love that I've created over 4 or 5 years. Me and my teacher, we've written all the transits in depth. If you want to own it for a very small amount, it's hundreds of pages. An early bird will get a big discount of 30% on this ebook. So let's start with the horoscopes. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, September 2023. Scorpio, the month starts with Venus turning direct, and it was retrograde for the last 40 days in your 10th house. So if there was some complications with authorities, with parents, in your work, or some delays, or if you've been working extra hard without recognition, or things moving slower than you want, well, there is a turnaround of those situations. They become easier, they start going according to plan. It can be back to work for some of you, or it can be new work or something that improves at your work situation or your career situation, or with authority figures or people of influence. It can be, and Venus will be in your 10th house the whole month after that in a fantastic state. Venus is visible as Aphrodite in a more masculine quality, so more initiative, it's moving direct. So this whole month you have protection when it comes to authorities or when it comes to bosses. You can approach bosses, they can be benevolent to you, they can even reward you with something, or people with authority or governments you can approach if you need for something. You can also, if you're your own boss or whatever you work, you can have kind of like things developing smoothly and positively. If you kind of rethought your career while Venus is retrograde, or change something about your status, oftentimes because Venus also rules relationships in your case. Now, if there was some change in your relationships, which is possible with people around you, who's around you might have changed, who you let around you, who your personal partner is, so maybe in the life of your partner there might have been some complication that directly affects your social status as well. This all starts untangling and becoming much easier and more predictable and starts moving ahead. Or if you've decided to make some changes now there and you did them while Venus was retrograde, now things start going back to normal and you start seeing the results of those changes. Or if you worked in a partnership with someone about some work project, you can start seeing the results of it when Venus turns direct in your 10th house, and the rewards from it as well. But if you're in any Venusian career, that will be a very good time for you. Art, beauty, when you get rewards now, when you see the results. Art, beauty, consulting, advising, negotiating, contract making, working with women, luxury industries, and so on. But if you're a public figure in any way, Venus will make you way more in the 10th house now direct. Fantastic to initiate new project. You'll be liked by bosses and by other people, and publicly as well. Put yourself out in the public, you'll be received well, seen well, even if there was an attack on your persona before that. So with that good news, there's another news. Jupiter is turning retrograde on the 4th in your 7th house, and that's gonna carry on till the end of December. And it's not going to repeat for 12 years. It happens once every 12 years that Jupiter goes retrograde in your 7th house. This Jupiter is very much romantically inclined because it rules your 5th house. And It can, and it's also connected to money because it rules your second house, and seventh house is partnership. So for some of you, how it might play out is that you might revisit some financial opportunities that can come to you through a partnership. Maybe you spoke with someone, let's collaborate, let's do something. Well, if you do it, or maybe somehow if you collaborate with someone or a partner that you already know, someone that you already know can contribute somehow, and you have to do something with them, can contribute somehow to your financial situation. And Jupiter is the ruler of your fifth house of romance, going retrograde in the seventh house of relationships. It can be someone from the past coming back to you. Maybe, unfinished love relationship comes back. Or maybe someone loved person, it's not always just romance, but a loved person from the past coming back. Or it can be you hearing from your ex, or just other people in your life that you used to have fun with, fifth house, that you used to love, and they're close, but you haven't seen them for a while. Now, when Jupiter starts turning retrograde from the end of August, the first 10 days of September, you can hear back from them. Or maybe some project you can do with another that you've been thinking about, or maybe like if it can be that if you had a business partner before, you can get together to do something again, some project or whatever it is. Or maybe someone comes back in your life, a loved friend or whatever, or even more intimate, that revives something, And if you are doing something, it's good to do it with someone that you've already known from before, because that's been Jupiter retrograde energy. To collaborate with someone you've already known from before, for example. And something good can come to you from others. And of course, a planet is reversing direction in your seventh house. In some cases, if your relationship has been going bad, or some contract has been going bad, and you've been feeling unhappy about some agreement or contract or personal relationship, this can reverse now. It can get better or easier if it's been already going bad for a while, for some times. Or if it's been, or you can feel even like rethink it, that you're finally ready to release that relationship. You're ready to release those clients if they're making you unhappy. You're ready to release this life partner or boyfriend or girlfriend, or this social contacts, or this close friend. Seven houses are the people overall that you're, so they can, especially if they've been feeling heavy on you and you've not been enjoying it for a while. Now the direction changes. You can be free of them and let go, or they can leave or whatever. Or sometimes in more extreme cases, which is more rare, but if a relationship has been going good and stuff, you start seeing that I'm not satisfied with this business partnership, and you have a few months to rework it. And Jupiter usually is not it's a gentle planet, so it will do it in a gentle, in a non-hurtful way. Even if there is a separation with someone, it's usually felt like friendly separation, an ending of a contract or agreement or partnership. It's seen as release and being freed, rather than, or maybe you've been wanting to get divorced for some time, and you can do it now. Jupiter goes retrograde, changes direction, But sometimes also, if you're in a good relationship or contracts or agreement, it can be just time that where you see, and Jupiter illuminates with knowledge and understanding, where you can revisit some old things. Maybe with your partner, you can revisit some old places, do some things that you used to love doing before. Jupiter rules your fifth house of having fun and romance. Try to become romantic again. Or maybe you've neglected some of your clients that are really your most loved clients or whatever, and you decide to reconnect with them, or to tend to your already existing clients rather than trying to do new ones. And of course, seventh house is very much business oriented, so it's you can rethink your strategy of marketing, of how you approach your audience. Seventh house is the audience. I've seen a lot of people when Jupiter is in the seventh house, even in a retrograde phase, where they start making, a lot more clients, but because they rethink something about the strategy, about how they approach others and so on, or you can bring out some old product, for example. I'm just giving ideas for those of you who are self-employed or in business, how you can benefit by this Jupiter in the seventh house. Maybe, and of course, we talked about the romance from the past. If you're in a relationship already, re-examining your romantic connections, whether it's like having important conversations with your partner so there is more love down the line, or reconnecting by doing things you used to love to do before. This is another way it can play out. But when it comes to business, having some deep illuminations and understanding about your business plan, how you approach others, maybe deciding to target more different clients rather than someone from the past, and so on. I hope I don't want to become too boring for people that are not interested in those things. Okay. And Scorpios, the other big event is that Mercury is retrograde till the middle of the month in your 11th house of friendships. So there might be some complications with friendships. You see how, interestingly enough, both Jupiter and Mercury are retrograde in social houses. 7th house of others, Mercury in your 11th house. So not only can you meet one-to-one people you haven't seen in a while with Jupiter in the 7th, or past relationships, or revisit them, you can also friends that you haven't seen for a while, or places where people gather in large groups you can revisit. For example, you can go to a school reunion, classmates reunion, or maybe you used to go to one nightclub before and you stopped, and Mercury goes retrograde in your 11th house of social spaces. You can start going there, or maybe you can revisit some big festival that you've been before to, or with friends that you haven't seen for a while. These are some of the ways this Mercury retrograde can play out. Or it can play out by you rethinking that, ooh, I don't want to hang out with those friends, or ooh, I don't want to be part of those media groups, or ooh, I want to delete that social media. I want to take a step back. I feel toxic energy here because Mercury in retrograde in Virgo is very discriminating. So you have a more discriminating eye. And you might even feel that you're a little bit, for especially the first part of the month, you become less social, unless it's with old people that you already know, and that you put some of your business goals even, you rethink because the 11th house is another house of reaching audience or followers or, clients, where you rethink the strategy and this plan. We have again this theme. There can be some crisis in friendship, some friends of yours going through some difficulties, some bringing up things from the past to discuss with those in your environment, maybe with colleagues or anyone in your environment, like friends. You can bring up things where you're like, okay, this is something or they can bring it up, how it can be addressed that they're not satisfied with or that you're not satisfied with. But it all changes from the middle of the month because Mercury becomes visible, direct at the same time, and exalted in Virgo. So the first part of the month, rethink business strategy, redo some old long-term projects, which is also the 11th house. Rethink your strategy for gains, which is again 11th house, gains. Rethink your strategy how to reach audience. Explore alternative methods, or maybe work behind the scenes where you're preparing something, studying, researching, preparing, and then launch when Mercury turns direct in your 11th house. Whoa. Launch with power. Things that will be very successful because Mercury becomes visible just for a few 2-3 days here every 2-3 months, or 5-6 days every 2-3 months. It's very rare. It's even rarer to have it direct and exalted at the same time. So you will give birth to something new in this 11th house of yours, Scorpios. There will be a new friendships that appear, or new that will be from the second part of the month, after the 15th, 16th, because there is this energy of rebirth there. Before that is reevaluation, rethinking. Is that what you want? Are those the friends you want? Is that the strategy? And then from the 15th, 17th, launch a business if you have. 11th house, the business house of gains. Start a new marketing campaign if you want. Bring out something to the public. The 11th house is the public, where they see you, where they appreciate whatever you've done. Bring out something to the public. An article, a message, a business, a project. It will go fantastic after 16, 17 onwards for the next 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks or even almost 20 days. Or you can approach social circles that you want to be part of. Or new friends can appear in your life that are very benevolent, that open some doors for you, that are very skillful, savvy. You can also, this 11th house, new income and gain can come for you. While there was possible complications the first 15 days or worries, the next 20 days is the opposite. It's like new opportunities for gains, new friends, new social environment, and it's very good. This Mercury is fantastic. If you have an opportunity to meet new people, wow, after the 15, 16, 17, something good will come to you from there. If you have an opportunity to launch something, to start some business, to connect with like-minded people, if you want to be accepted in some group or member of something, if you want to do some presentation in front of audience or many people, if you want it to be accepted, anything, whatever you put out to be accepted, and with accepted very positively, or even if you want to apply for a bonus or some new idea, long-term idea and goal you want to start 15, 16 onwards, 17 when Mercury becomes visible, wow, go for it. It will be very successful. So there you go, Scorpio. That's overall the most important events, all those planets changing directions. Hope that was helpful for you.